Welcome to you once again. This is Astrology, bringing you my tarot series, giving you tarot and patra readings, birth charts, crystals and runes included. Join me on this journey. Trine, let's start with your 5 card spread for the period August 22nd to September 11th, 2022. And what is the situation that you're currently facing for this period? What is the question that you want to answer? What is the goal that you want to reach? Are there any finances in your career relationship that you want to look at? And the world is here. And the world tarot card signifies having the world at your feet. This can be a literal sense, as the world is one of the travel cards of the major arcana. It can represent new worlds, new paths, new or alternate ways that you can travel, because it's opening up something for you, and you might be welcomed wherever you will go. The world can also mean you will have the world at your feet in another sense, in that you will be successful, and that the opportunities available to you at the moment are endless. You have gone through the trials and tribulations of the rest of the major arcana. You have endured the hardships and learned your lesson, and now you are ready and willing to reap the rewards. You should be proud of what you have achieved. It's not easy to get here, but you've done it. The universe is smiling upon you, and luck is on your side when this major arcana card appears in your reading. So here, what? Grab the opportunities available to you, and the world can represent the completion of a challenge, a project, education, um, a job that you want to move from onto a better one. It can represent that you're finally achieving your dreams or your goals. You're starting your own business. Um, you are pregnant. Your family is pregnant. You are expecting your first child. You're getting married. You're opening your own business. There's a world of opportunities ready for you in this period. This is the situation for you. The world is at your feet. Success can bring a whole new set of challenges or worries, though, so make sure you're not carrying the weight of the world on your back, or on your shoulders. You have worked to get to this point. Stop, savor the moment, celebrate your accomplishments. This is really a good card for you, Trine. And then we have, what led you to this position, what caused the situation, what is the heart of the problem or the desire, because the world is at your feet. And here you have the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles is not a good card. It's a great omen to get, as it represents success, independence, freedom, security, stability, and it's all about money, it's all about finance, it's all about your assets. It is a minor arcana card of abundance, prosperity, wealth gained through hard work, self-discipline and control, and you're relying on yourself and the decisions you make. It signifies that the success and status that you have right now with the world at your feet is all your own doing. So indulge yourself, pamper yourself, enjoy the luxury and contentment of the accomplishments that will bring to you. The world is there at your feet. The Nine of Pentacles also signifies beauty, grace, elegance, and you may find yourself enjoying the finer things in life when it appears. This card also tells you that you have gained maturity and wisdom, so you wouldn't squander. You know how to spend, you know what to spend on, and you know why you're doing it. So this is a good time for you, Trine, August 22nd to September 11th. Let us see what the character, what should you consider in the character, your attitude. And it says the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is like having two pathways. When this card appears in your reading, you have decisions to make or a choice to make between two options. But you have to recall that the grass is not always greener on the other side. What you don't know, your heart won't grieve, as we see. So that if you are happy, if you are stable, if you are content, make the choices that will continue. If you want to take risk and have some kind of creative juices flowing, to have your heart pumping, and you don't know what is around the corner, and you like that kind of adventure and dangerous pathway, then make your choices accordingly. You know, this card can signify overseas travel also, you know, sudden departures, immigration, deciding if you will stay or go. Because the Two of Wands is that you have everything in front of you. You have done what you had to do, and now you have the world at your feet. You know, it can also indicate a lack of contentment with your present life. You're restless, you're detached, you're withdrawn, because that's one side of you, and the other side is that you're anticipating change. You want to wonder, you know, you have the wanderlust gene in you, and you know it brings business partnerships or overseas expansion with travel. So this is the choices, or these are the choices you have in front of you. This is you and your attitude right now. You want something more. You know, you have the world at your feet already. What more can you want? So what is the advice with the guides to give you, a Trine? What is the advice coming? Oh my goodness. And the advice is the sun. You know, and the sun tarot card is a sign of positivity, a sign of optimism. And you know, this is what the guides are telling you, um to have things that will represent your enthusiasm. You know, you might find that people might be drawn to you in this period. They would love your energy and your positive attitude. And the sun is an external card, so there's no timing for this, whether it's short term or long term. You know, it can be tomorrow, it can be 2 years, it could be 2 weeks. It can happen anytime, because the sun is always shining. The sun changes sign every month, you know, and at the end of the day, you will always find the sun during the day, unless a cloud is hiding the sun or rain is falling. But the sun is always there for you to enjoy, for you to be positive, for you to illuminate you and others. You know, you will find that people are very carefree and liberated and self-assured with this timing here, with you know what is the solution, what you want to achieve. So have a upbeat attitude, as it were. You know, you have the world at your feet, you have the Nine of Pentacles, you have choices to make, and you should have an upbeat attitude with this card of positivity. You know, you know, any problems you have been experiences will melt away with this card. It will leave you, and it could leave you at any time, because you know it is always what is happening here with you. And the timing, as I said, the timing could be anything. So the solution here now is to be upbeat, upright, make a decision, because you have the world at your feet. And what is the outcome? The Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands tells you at the end of the day that you know there is a resolution for you, that things are going better than you expected, and any ventures you have taken on would likely be more successful than you hope. You are riding towards success. You have the energy, you have the passion, you have the will, you have the creative juices flowing to take you to that confidence and that fearless state where your bravery will give you the action and put the ideas and plans into motion. You know, this minor card signifies getting things done and finishing what you start. But it also tells you, do not be too hasty. You know, don't rush in without thinking and just expect things to work out. This is the outcome. So that yes, you have the world at your feet, you have choices, you have positivity, you have um, optimism in your way right now. You know, you can look for somebody who might be giving you some kind of advice. You know, the Knight of Wands is coming there on a horse, probably bringing a message for you. You know, he will be fearless, confident, and self-assured. He knows that, or believes in fact that he knows best, and is a man of action. So somebody might be coming into your life, or you might become that person, you know, after you have the world at your feet and everything is so hunky-dory for you. You know, you can rush into things without thinking about the consequences, because the Knight of Wands, with um this fire in his veins, he can rush into things without thinking through. You know, he can be hasty in his actions, and because the temper is there, you know, the things are going better than expected, and the ventures you're taking on, you're looking at only success, because again the world is at your feet. You know, you are traveling, and again, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the World, it's telling you that it's traveling. So probably traveling is really, maybe it's a long-term traveling for you and not short-term. So that this revolutionary card or cards for you, Air Trine, is really telling you something. You have two external cards that you really can't do anything about, the World and the Sun. The World is there. Whatever you have done is going to bring you the World. The Sun is there shining for you. The Two of Wands is telling you you have choices and options that will take you on travels. The Nine of Pentacles is there talking about positivity, and you know you have worked for what you want. It's a long-term stable finances and material resources that you have. The Knight of Wands telling you to be careful, don't be too hasty. You might be a little uncaring because you have so much. So look at yourself and understand that take your time sometimes. Yes, you have the energy, you have the passion, you have the verve to take that step, but don't be too hasty. That is what this air trine is telling you for the period August 22nd to September 11th, 2022. Bhagwan's blessings has once again allowed me to bring another video to you on the air trine, and I ask that you share, you sign up, and you subscribe. I always ask that you stay safe, healthy, and happy until we meet again. This is usually my ending for my videos, but you know I always like to mix things up at Zidam Astrology. And after this slide you will find a tutorial on the concept of the trine, which I am utilizing for these horoscopes of the zodiac for you on Zidam Astrology on my YouTube channel. So if you wish to have further information on why I use the concept of the trine and what the trine is all about, then you can continue on with this video. Thank you so much, and once again I remind you, share, sign up, and subscribe. The next three slides give you a synopsis or summary of the air trine and Vedic astrology and its alignment with the tarot card and the tarot spread as we see it, or as I see it here at Zidam Astrology. And this is just a reminder that the air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, this is your tutorial. As I mentioned to you in this video, that I'm going to leave a tutorial so that you can see why I have formulated the trine concept to read horoscopes at Zidam Astrology rather than read individual signs from Aries to Pisces for you. And I've found in my research and in my reading and from my teachings that there are commonalities between the tarot and the Kundali, which is your birth chart in Vedic astrology. So that these are the commonalities that have aligned together, that have created a method that will utilize the tarot and Vedic astrology to read and analyze for you in the trine concept. And this is a Kundali or birth chart taken randomly on somebody born on April 21st, 2022 at 6 a.m. And this person's birth chart or natal placements are here for you to see that these are the placement. This is the fate of this person. This is the ascendant or lagna, as we say in Vedic astrology, where we say this is the first house of the 12 houses in the zodiac sign. So wherever the ascendant or lagna falls is where we denote in Vedic astrology your first house. And in this particular chart we go clockwise from Aries to Pisces so that we'll know where your first to 12th house falls. So your first house is Aries, your 12th house will be Jupiter. And each house in Vedic astrology denotes something. It denotes your wealth, your family, your siblings, your relatives, your children, your marriage, your father, your mother, your work, your career, your community, your luck, your spirituality, your illnesses, whether it's chronic or routine, you know, how you will earn your money, how you will lose your money, a multiplicity of things. And each of these houses has its significations that we read for you in Vedic astrology. So this is your natal chart. This is your fate. You cannot change the positioning of these planets in your Kundali, because this is the placement of the planets when you were born, the time you were born, and the place you were born. However, you cannot change fate, but you can change destiny. And destiny comes from the transit of the planets, because each of these planets, they move from one sign to the next during particular periods, and you can change your destiny through your freedom of expression and will, through your ambition, through your courage, so that you can change destiny. You can't change fate. And the transit of planets will give you a chance to change your destiny. And transits, planets move, as we see here, Saturn every 2.5 years, and so on and so forth. This is how planets move from one sign to the next. Neptune takes 14 years to move from one sign to the next. Mercury takes 1 month. Sun takes 1 month. And you will see these are the 12 planets that I deal with at Zedam Astrology, so that they are the ones that I look at and how they move. And every placement of a planet in a particular sign says something, does something, has an aspect on your natal planet, and it throws out potential or a pathway for you to understand what can be happening. You know, it is the natal chart is a map of what the sky was like on the day, for us to know ourselves and to better understand the types of energy we have available for each moment and situation in life. And because of the transits where destiny can be changed, we can say that this placement is not decisive, but it shows options and it marks pathways in which we can utilize to make choices during our lifetime. And then we have the source code of astrology, and that FEAW is basically fire, earth, air, and water. Those are the trines that I look at, and the 4 elements are the source code of astrology, and they are the blueprint of your soul. You know, you become the architect of your destiny by using this blueprint of our soul. And the blueprint of our soul, one of the trines that I use, because it's the foundation, you know, one of the trines that I use is the Dharma Trikona. And the Dharma trine tells you that, you know, this is the trine that keeps us on the soul's mission, the accumulated merit and the manifestation of past karma. And this 159 denotes the houses 1, 5, and 9. And as you see, we have fire, earth, air, and water trines. So this is the source code of astrology. And tradition holds that religious duty, or dharma, is the primary aim of human life, since it is the foundation which you develop your wisdom and your discretion to pursue wealth, which is artha, which is another trine, happiness, karma, which is a third trine, and we pursue these wealth and happiness from the wisdom we get from dharma, so that we will not compromise our chances of liberation, which is moksha, which is the 4th trine. But I use the 1st trine because it is the foundation, it is the primary aim of your birth on this earth. And Hinduism describes the Dharma trine as the natural universal laws whose observance enables us to be contented and happy and to save ourselves from degradation and suffering. So that Dharma is the moral law combined with spiritual discipline that guides our life, you know, and this is what the Dharma trine is. And I'm just going to pull up another version of the zodiac circle, the 12 signs, and I'll just give you an example, so that this random Kundali or birth chart gives you Aries as the ascendant, and with Aries as the ascendant, that will be the 1st house. The 1st house will be Aries, the 5th house will be Leo, and the 9th house will be Sagittarius, and this is the trine. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is the fire trine. And with the fire trine, even if your first bhava is Leo, then Leo will be your first house, Sagittarius will be your 5th, and Aries will be your 9th. You will still remain in that trine if your ascendant moves from Aries to Leo or Sagittarius. And remember, your ascendant moves every 2.5 hours every day from one zodiac sign to the next in Vedic astrology. And then we have the Earth trine, and the Earth trine can begin with Taurus, and if it begins with Taurus, then you would have as your fifth house, you will have Virgo. As your 9th house, you will have Capricorn, and this is your Earth trine. Then your air trine will be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. That is your air trine. And obviously your water trine will then be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, so that all your signs are taken care of there, as you see. So these are the trines. And why I do the horoscope in trines is because Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, when one is activated, each of these are activated because they are in a trine. They are in a dharma trine, a dharma, where your duty, where your vision, where your wisdom are all created for you to understand that first house is you are born, then 5th house is your children, and the 9th house is your father. So you get the circle of evolution. Your father produces you with your mother. Your mother helps you throughout your life. When you are an adult, then you produce children. And that is where you get this circle of evolution, so that the Dharma trine here is what connects each of these 3 signs in the zodiac. And then we have the tarot deck, and the tarot deck as we know it has wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. And you will see that the wands is with fire, the pentacles is earth, and swords are air, and cups are water. So that here now we have the commonality between the tarot deck and the zodiac astrology, the source code of astrology. So that this is what I find with the commonalities. There are so many other things that I can speak about, but this is the basic. This is the basic. And if we have to talk about, a tarot spread, that my go-to tarot spread is the Tetractys. And the Tetractys tarot spread comes from that Greek philosopher Pythagoras, who threw out for us the Pythagoras theorem. And he can be viewed as a Vedic Brahmin, because 3 of the things he did or believed in was that he wore white exclusively, he was a vegetarian, and he believed in reincarnation. And his theorem existed in the Sanskrit texts in India. So that there we have the commonality again. And then even so, the tarot deck, the fire is clubs, pentacles is diamonds, swords is aligned to spades, and cups is aligned to hearts. So this is where we get the commonalities. This is where I can utilize a union of tarot and Vedic astrology to bring you a complex issue, but a different take on reading your birth chart, because you cannot live by yourself, you weren't born by yourself, and you can't grow up by yourself. There is a community, and that community brings the trine, so that you feel comfortable if you are in the fire trine with people from Leo and Sagittarius if you were born in Aries. Likewise, it goes so for the other trines. So this is my research, this is my method that I use, and I hope I was clear, complete, and concise. I ask that you share, sign up, and subscribe. Review my videos, look at my transit series, and I will join you next time. Thank you so much. This final informational slide tells you about its synergy between Vedic astrology and tarot based on my research at Zeram Astrology. And I ask that you look at it, you understand it, you digest it. If you don't understand, as I said, look at my previous videos or drop me a line at zedamastrology.com or zeta55 at outlook.com.